So I promised you in the video that I just did about cemeteries, haunts, and ghosts that I would have this conversation with you about premonitions, New Orleans, and the Katrina disaster. So here's what happens, and also covered in this video are going to be dreams, particularly premonitions that come to you in the dream state. So I go to New Orleans now. This was when the same year Katrina hit, and I was there with my boo at the time, who was a traditional Christian, who still is, who's a traditional Christian, and me being a witch and magical person. I was looking for a tarot reading. Now, because tarot like scared the bejesus out of him, I didn't talk to him about this, and I actually was kind of tipping around behind. I was still in the broom closet. Part of me was out because I had tarot decks, and he knew that, and he knew I was magical, but he didn't know that when I was in New Orleans, something was driving me to do two things. The first was to get a tarot reading, and the second was to find a crystal moonstone ring. I had to find a moonstone ring, a ring with the crystal moonstone in it. More about that in a minute. So I want to get a tarot reading, and I'm asking around everywhere when he's not with me. You know where I can get a good tarot reading? You know where I can get a good tarot reading? You know where I can get a good tarot reading? I don't know why I had to get a tarot reading while I was in New Orleans. I just had to have a tarot reading. Finally, somebody said, "Oh yeah, go to bottom of the teacup." So I said, "Oh, what's bottom of the teacup?" And they said, "Oh, it's this place where they do tarot readings, they do tea leaf readings, they do all kinds of things there." I was like, "That sounds like my kind of place." I couldn't wait to get there. So I waited one day so I could scheme when I wasn't with him because we were going all around different places. I couldn't tell him I was going to bottom of the teacup to get a tarot reading because that would have been like, So I had to, "Oh, where are you going today, honey?" "Oh, I'm going to the casino." I was like, ding, ding, ding. The casino. He'll be there for a long time. He loves to gamble. He loves to play those games. "Oh, great. You're going to the casino. Nice." And he was like, "You want to come with me?" "No, no, no. I think I'll chill." So he goes to the casino. Where do you think I go? Straight to the bottom of the teacup. So I go to the tarot place, and here I get this reading. Now, this reading was amazing. I had this tarot reader, and he's been there for years and years and years at bottom of the teacup. Now, I don't know if that bottom of the teacup is still there post Katrina. And like I said, this was the July before Katrina. Katrina hit in that fall. I believe it was September. And this was pre Katrina, it was July, the Essence Music Festival. And so I'm hanging out, and I'm going to the bottom of the teacup, so happy. So he brings out the whole tarot deck. I have never had a tarot reading like this before. I don't even think I had ever had a tarot reading before in person like this. He takes the whole tarot deck, and he's got these giant cards. You know, the big tarot deck that has the big cards. He has these giant cards, and he fans them out. He deals them and he deals them. He's looking at me and he's talking to me. He said, "You want it recorded?" I said, "Yeah." So he presses the recorder. In this, he had a cassette tape recorder sitting on his table, on his tarot table. So he turns on the recorder, and I'm sitting there like, what is gonna happen? What's about to happen? So he fans out. He starts recording. He's talking to me, dealing, shuffling, 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 talking to me, and then he looks at me with a nod. So I guess his guides told him okay to fan the cards. He lays the cards out, sort of like a half moon uh, spread. It wasn't, he's not picking cards to do a specific spread. I don't know if I was expecting a specific spread. He didn't do that. So he lays them out, and he just starts talking. He starts talking. "Yep, your relationship. And yeah, you're not with the person that really appreciates your gifts. Oh yeah, you're magical and psychic just like me. Oh, blah, 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 blah." He is reading my whole life, and I am like, oh, yes. When someone's talking and you're actually feeling the words in your this my spirit, that's how it was. I was actually feeling the words he was speaking. Powerful. I finished with the whole reading. He gives me the recording. I am so fascinated by tarot that I have to buy a deck. And I'm conflicted at the same time because how do I buy the tarot deck? Where am I going to hide the tarot deck? And what am I going to do with this tarot deck? And what's going to happen if he finds a tarot deck? So I'm conflicted and still, earlier I said I think I had tarot decks, but I don't think I had tarot decks at that time. This was my first one. So I buy the tarot deck. Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. I buy the tarot deck. I'm going to go for it anyway. I'm just going to do what my soul is leading me to do. Like they say, better to ask forgiveness than ask permission. And who the hell do I need to ask permission for to buy a tarot deck? So I get the tarot deck. I have the recording. I have his card. I have my paraphernalia now from the magical store. I go back to the hotel. Carefully hide everything in the suitcases where I think he's not gonna go. Please, Lord, don't go in there. I have already been meditating. We had a suite at the hotel, and staying at the same hotel was Magic Johnson and Cookie. We saw them one day. We were staying in a nice hotel, and there's lots of people in town because once again, this is the Essence Music Festival, so a lot of people are in town. So at this particular hotel we were staying in, it was very nice. We had a suite, and there was the bedroom, then there was the door, then there was the living room area, and then there was a kitchen area, and then the entrance. So already in the mornings I was getting up to meditate, and I was meditating with my crystals. So that was already problematic. So now you mean to tell me you're going to come and bring this tarot deck? So that was where my consciousness was. So let me be clear that this was not about him. This was about me coming into the fullness of who I am, who I came to the planet to be, and what I came here to express. This was about me, not about anybody else around me. So if you're experiencing any kind of resistance or pushback or anything like that with regard to your magic and regard to tarot decks, being magical or anything, being a witch, being a Wiccan, being a pagan, anything, it means that within your own consciousness, there is some resistance to who you really are. That's what was happening for me. In my own consciousness, there was still a resistance and an unwillingness to accept myself. Breathe. So, as you can see, I got over that. Get over it so that you can be fully self-expressed. You can be all the way you. Because all the way you is God, is the divine. That's the authentic you, is spirit. So I get the tarot deck. I also find a nice journal that I get from another bookstore, from another store. Now, remember I said there were two things I had to get. I had to get the tarot reading, and I had to get the moonstone ring. So here I am again asking everyone, do you know where they might sell a moonstone, a ring with a moonstone? And we even went to jewelry stores because around that time was our anniversary, I believe. And so my sweetheart at the time, he bought me some really nice jewelry and he gave it to me. I love emeralds, so he gave me some really nice emerald jewelry. It was a ring, a bracelet, and a necklace, all with emeralds, and it's very lovely, very beautiful, wonderful. So when we were in jewelry stores and looking around in different shops, I kept asking, do you know where I might find a moonstone ring? And every time I asked that question, he was looking at me like, what's moonstone? Why, you got emeralds here, girly girl. And I was kind of like, yeah, the emeralds are nice, but I need to get a moonstone. So going. The last day, this was Sunday, that we're gonna fly out like the next day. We're flying out really soon. And it's still the moonstone ring, the moonstone ring. And it wasn't a gotta have it thing. It was a focused, drawing to myself, magical power before I even fully had mastered or even knew what magical power was, it was moonstone ring will attract me. Sure enough, Sunday afternoon, I go to the flea market. I'm looking all around. I can sense my proximity to the moonstone ring. I go closer, I go closer. I see one vendor, they've got all these rings with crystals in them. Semi-precious stones, precious stones. I start looking at them. I see a moonstone ring. I go to reach for it. That ain't it. I draw my hand back. Remember, we don't touch crystals unless the crystal is for us. Don't touch the crystal, and don't touch other people's crystals, and don't touch crystals that are not for you. You'll know the crystal that's for you because it will call you. I continue moving on, looking for the moonstone ring, looking for the moonstone ring. Finally, I get to the table. I see the moonstone ring. I pick it up. I put it on. Fits perfectly. This is the moonstone ring. How much is it? Well, you know what? That's an irrelevant question at this point. I want it. And whatever amount of money it was, I gave it to him. And I went out of there like that. I was walking out the flea market like this. They were looking at me like, what is wrong with this woman? So, here's the juicy part. Now, I'm in New Orleans. I'm happy I got my moonstone ring. Oh, life is good. Life is wonderful. I can go home now. Hey, I fulfilled my mission. And maybe I got to Essence Music Festival. I think we saw Alicia Keys or somebody. I didn't really care. I was happy. So, back home, shortly after that, I have a dream. In the dream, there's a disaster. Water, wind, helicopters overhead in the dream, and a big, enormous facility. Now, in my dream, I thought it was some kind of school. Big, enormous facility with seats all around. Mayhem in the streets. I'm there with my sweetie and our daughter. We get the daughter to safety, and I'm walking around and there's just disaster. I go into the facility where I think it's some kind of school, and there are all these people packed in there. I wake up the next morning. I write the dream in my dream journal like I do my dreams all the time. Write the dream in the dream journal. What could this mean? What could this mean? Writing the dream. Close the dream journal, put it back by my bed. Go about my life. 2 months later, I'm sitting down, watching TV, chilling, not thinking about anything. Definitely not thinking about the dream. Not thinking about any of that. And what do I see? News coverage of the Katrina disaster. Now here's the key. I'm watching the Katrina disaster. I'm watching the news. It still doesn't relate to my dream in any way for me. All of a sudden, I saw a helicopter. And when I saw that helicopter spinning blades, boom, it triggered the memory of the dream. There was a helicopter in the dream. I jumped up, ran in the other room, got my dream journal out, read the dream. The entire Hurricane Katrina disaster was that dream. Premonition. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, holy smokes. Before Katrina, I saw the whole thing of Katrina, including all the people in that big Superdome. And guess how the dream came to me? By the moonstone ring. Now, remember, when we were in New Orleans, we went to that very same Superdome for the concerts with the Essence Music Festival. When I was there, I got the ring. Now here's what happened next. This is mind-blowing. kid you not, that moonstone ring cracked. Now, very rare that a crystal will crack itself. When I say crack itself, a crystal is so hard. The only time a crystal really breaks like that is if somebody obviously breaks it up, or when it's nobody breaking it up, crystals will crack themselves. There's only 2 instances of all the crystals I have that a crystal cracked itself, rendering itself useless, pretty much saying, I'm done. I did what I came here to do. I'm done. Put me back in the earth. The 2 times that a crystal did that with me is that ring, that moonstone ring that literally cracked itself in half. The moonstone, I saw it, first started as sort of like this crack going across, and then it broke itself clean in half. I couldn't even really wear the ring, even though the moonstone still stayed in the ring. Isn't that amazing? So that was the one time that a crystal cracked itself. The second time that a crystal cracked itself was when I had a selenite, a beautiful white selenite crystal ball. This crystal ball, it was beautiful. It was selenite. It was the angel stone. You can use that selenite to talk to angels and ascend consciousness. Any white stone will really do some real wonders for ascending consciousness. This particular crystal ball, oh my goodness, this thing was beautiful. And I used to have it on a stand and I would meditate with it. And I'm telling you, I could get to some high realms with that thing. And one day, don't ask me why, I take the thing into the bathroom, and I'm standing in the bathroom with the stone, and literally the thing feels like it jumps out of my hand and cracks itself on the floor. Now, mind you, this was not carelessness of me just walking in, and dropping the stone. I'm holding the stone in a very mindful, conscious way, because this is how I interact with my stones. And literally, that stone was like, I'm out. And it cracked itself. And I just accepted that that stone was done. Same thing with the moonstone ring. That stone was done. So I took it off and I let it have its incarnation into the next helpful thing that it's going to be. So I tell you this story for this. First, premonitions about things like Katrina, the 911 disasters, the tsunami disasters, the earthquake disasters. These premonitions come to all of us. Usually it's in the mass consciousness of dreams of many, many, many people. Not just me, many, many, many people. You probably had premonitions of Katrina. And these premonitions are powerful. They're clear. They're letting us know something's coming. Get ready. And it's for us to pay attention, to give attention to the subtle energies, to give attention to deja vu, to give attention to dreams, to give attention to premonitions, to give attention to your gut feeling, give attention to your instincts. These are all very subtle energies that it's so easy for the loud talking mind to say, that doesn't mean anything, oh, that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't mean anything. It's so easy for the loud talking, logical mind to override the subtle energies like magic and fairies and angels and the stillness of the heart. It's so easy for the conscious mind to do that until you make the decision that you're not going to allow your conscious mind to explain away or logicalize away or mentally destroy what you know you got a sense of, even if you don't know how you know the information. Don't let your mind steal the gifts your intuition is giving you. Let me end this Katrina experience, New Orleans, with this story. I'm sitting in the lobby of the beautiful hotel, and I hear the noise, boom, 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 boom. This noise, the windows, just the window shutters, just boom, 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 boom. Now, the wind's not blowing. It's a sunny July day. I look up, just entities cutting up in the spirit realms, unbalanced energies, disharmonious energies, energies that are not the kind of energies that you would want to invite to dinner. So I'm sitting there and I'm being with this, and I'm looking around the hotel lobby, and everybody's just going about their business, coming, going, checking in with their hotels and checking out. And I'm like, good Lord, this is a lot. And since then, I have not been back to New Orleans, not out of anything other than awareness. Awareness that when it's time for me to go back, my guides, they will let me know that. And in the meantime, I stay where I'm led to stay and go where I'm led to go. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your premonitions. Pay attention to deja vu. Hell, just pay attention. I love you. Valerie Love. Visit me online at valerielove.com. While you're there, buy one of my books. I mean, come on. We can't keep having these conversations for free. Well, we can because I just love talking to you. But hey, if you like what's here, let's do some kind of energy exchange. Pick up one of my books, send a gift through PayPal, anything that just makes you feel good. If you believe what I'm talking about, or if you like what I'm talking about, send a Facebook share, something. Share the love. I love you. Be blessed.